And I want to talk about this, Vlad. For so many years, Major League Baseball, steeped in tradition, sometimes they couldn't get out of their own way. No pitch clock. Pitchers can face one batter. What else? The bases need to stay the same size. They eventually did change a lot of that stuff. And the game's gotten quicker. It's more streamlined. And whether you're a purist or not, I think you agree, it's okay. It's pretty good. So baseball said, wait a second. We changed some things and the world didn't fall apart. Maybe we should change some other things. And this week they did something that I thought was long coming and they should have done. During the week, they decided to incorporate the Negro League statistics into Major League Baseball statistics, which is kind of jumbled and shaken things up. And I think this is a great story. And I think this is hilarious. And if you're a baseball purist or a baseball fanatic, you hopefully find this as silly and funny and as interesting as I do. With the Negro Leagues now being statistically put together with Major League Baseball records, Ty Cobb's all-time lifetime highest batting average has been replaced at number 1 with Josh Gibson's all-time lifetime batting average, meaning that Josh Gibson is now Major League Baseball's baseball lifetime average hitting champion above Ty Cobb. And I said there would be no one happier, no one more proud, and no one more accepting of that change than the Georgia Peach himself. And if you're a baseball fan, you get it. Because Ty Cobb is known as a huge racist and mean individual.
Oh, no, this is what I love about this.
That's what I think is hilarious about it. I think it's hilarious.
There's probably like 3 still staunch Ty Cobb guys.
There's no way.
There's at least 3.
Caping up for a guy that played in the team.
Oh, caping, absolutely.
But it's just hilarious. Ty Cobb was known for being not the nicest guy, and also
a lot of
very racist.
A lot of the older legendary baseball players, they grew up and lived in a time where their thinking was very one-dimensional, and very short-sighted. So it's very interesting. It's something that needed to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Satchel Paige
it's just something that a lot of athletes in competition have always said, like, it's not fair when racism and segregation was part of sports, because you never really knew if you were really that good if you didn't go against all the best competition that was available.
And that's
remember Larry Bird I think you said this yesterday. Larry Bird used to be insulted when he was covered by a white player because he did not feel a white player was of his skill set and his level, so he wanted to go against brothers because he felt that's where he would know where he was in his career, or where he was at his stage of his career. So there was a time, obviously, in the Major League Baseball, where blacks were not allowed to play until Jackie Robinson and who's the American League guy that never gets
played for the Cleveland.
Yeah, played for the Cleveland Indians
baseball team. Yeah.
Man. You know what? I'm gonna look up to that name after I finish my point. But
look, I know that.
I want to say Josh Gibson. It wasn't Josh Gibson.
It wasn't Josh Gibson. That was a long time ago. I want to say Leo DeRocher, but that's
no. Come on, there ain't no way he was Leo DeRocher. But it wasn't until Jackie started playing that they were able to see how good they were when they went against the best of the best.
Larry Doby.
So therefore, they never knew how good they were until they went against the best.
That's what I'm saying. We missed out on a whole era because of
we missed out on some great matchups.
You never can tell how good both white and black players, because it would have been a mix of it, because we do still have a mix in Major League Baseball of a lot of different races and ethnicities. But it would have been great to see some of the greats on both leagues, the best of the best from both leagues, going against each other.
I would have loved to see Satchel Paige versus
I would love to
Babe Ruth.
I would have loved to just seen Satchel Paige pitch.
Just period. Just Satchel Paige.
Satchel Paige was something, man. You just watch the old videos.
I did hear stories of it. Let me tell you this. There is no greater compliment than your cronies, your adversaries, the people that you played with, talking in reverence about you. And these are some of the greatest athletes or players of that respective sports, talking great about somebody else.
I think Satchel Paige pitched till he was 60 years old or something like that.
They talk about him as if he was, the God. Like that was
great.
He was great.
I mean, Josh Gibson, he batted .372 lifetime. I think one year he hit 75 home runs. Unbelievable. But this is the thing. Major League Baseball finally did the right thing. They finally got over themselves. They got over their tradition.
Gotta give Manfred credit, bro.
And they realized, look, and I think making those other changes, they realized the world doesn't end because you try to adapt and do the right thing. And I mean, change the pitch clock. It's not a right or wrong thing, but I'm saying,
no, I'm old school, and
adapt.
remember I told you I didn't like it. I remember the minute I said I didn't like it, and then after one game, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to bite my word. I'm gonna have to eat my words. It's actually good. It's like you can actually go to a baseball. We went to that baseball game at noon, and we got back to the station right 3:30, 4 p.m. And then you still had the rest of your day. You still were able to sober up or relax, get a nap in, and be able to watch whatever. You still had time to do whatever you wanted later on that evening.
And baseball did the right thing. And if you're one of those purists that thinks that that's not fair and that you've taken records away from people and this and that and all that,
if not, how can it be taking records from people when those records are not official because you weren't playing against everyone?
And I know the arguments, they weren't in the league. That's why but you know what? No. And you know what? I think everyone, it's not going to change their life at one bit that Josh Gibson is now the all-time lifetime leader in batting average over Ty Cobb. It's not going to affect your life. It's not going to affect anything other than it's just now stated and it's out there and it's open and it's acceptable. And it's seen.
I tell you this, boy, Tommy Lee Jones made you hate Ty Cobb, boy.
No, I knew about Ty Cobb way before.
No, I know, but the way he played,
Ken Burns made me
he portrayed that role so well that it was like, ugh.
Ken Burns did a good job of helping me hate and love certain players throughout Major League Baseball history. That and the video games where you play with the legends and stuff like that. All-time favorite baseball player. It's got to be, for me, it's got to be Roberto Clemente. That's what my all-time favorite baseball player.
You mentioned that a lot.
Yeah, he's my all-time favorite. Maybe now Josh Gibson because he's really good.
Okay.
Satchel Paige.
My current favorite baseball player right now.
I mean, we all know my favorite, Brian De La Cruz.
I mean, obviously he's, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. But right now, my favorite baseball player is Marcus Stroman for the Yankees. I love seeing a brother on the mound. It reminds me like when I was a kid in the 80s.
Not good.
Yeah, let me tell you this. That RBI that they try to do, that was really something now that I look at it, I understand why they had that initiative. Because you don't really see that many African Americans
Tim Anderson
playing baseball. Yeah, you don't see them like before. It was easy when I was growing up in the 80s. You knew Kirby, Ozzie, Dave Winfield, Doc, Darryl Strawberry. Congratulations to him having his number retired. Willie played towards the end of his career in the 80s with the Bucks.
Dave Parker,
the Cobra, Bucks and the Reds. George Foster, Dennis Oil Can Boyd. It was easy. Eric Davis,
Eric Davis was a baller.
It was
Gary Sheffield.
But now, I don't know if they're playing basketball, they're playing football, they're playing the I know those are the two big sports, but it's not like you don't really see that.
To legendary LSU and Miami baseball coach Skip Bertman one time. He's like, it's not that I'm not trying to have African Americans on the team. It's just the culture is changing now to where they don't play it as much in certain urban areas.
St. Louis Cardinals had Vince Coleman, Willie McGee,
Ozzie Smith, Lee Smith.
Lee Smith was with the Cubs with the Cubs. Sean Dunston with the Cubs. Andre Dawson won an MVP in '87 playing for the Cubs, even though they were a last place team. Like you give me a team, I could tell you brothers that were on the team.
Barry Larkin.
Cincinnati with Dave Parker and Eric Davis.
Nobody made a routine fly ball more exciting than Dave Parker.
That's a big guy. That's a big guy covering outfield, bro.
He started wiggling and wobbling and tapping his leg. And
Boston had Jim Rice.
I'll tell you my all-time. Okay, besides Roberto Clemente, my all-time favorite baseball player, Albert Bell. LSU.
Joey Bell.
Yeah, Joey Bell. Kenny Lofton was on that team also.
Okay, last one I'm saying, they were identifiable players. Like you name the team, and I can tell you that. It's not like that anymore.
Right.
I can tell you the Hispanic players because of the
Afro-Latino players.
Of the Afro-Latino players because of the minor league, how they were signed. You know, some of them have some great stories of how they are signed, but you understand that. But it's not like that with the brothers right
Let's
now.
get that RBI program back.
You got to get it back, man.
It makes it
gotta
fun.
get
It makes it interesting. It makes it cool. Kevin Mitchell, for better or for worse.
Kevin Mitchell, that's another great. Like
once again, better or for worse. Great player though.
Yeah,
Terry Pendleton.
I mean Griffey Jr.
Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. But that's like Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey. We know who they are. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying the other players.
Guys, yeah.
Every team had a star or a known player.
Right. And my friend
from the African American culture.
Up saying, what about Hank Aaron, Willie Mays? Yeah, well, we're talking about the lesser known.
We're talking about
guys.
When the 80s, and because as you can see right now, once the mid 90s happened till now, baseball, there's not that many identifiable African American players. That's why I said Marcus Stroman. A lot of brothers that I know, they look forward to when he pitches because he has the swag. He's representing us. So he's relatable to us.
Mookie Betts, though,
Mookie's relatable, but also Mookie's on the West Coast, so we don't get to see him as much as before. But there are great African American players. It's just not as many as there was before.
Right? Yeah, it's a different world. It's a different culture,
and they've also gone to different sports.
Right. That's what I'm saying too. It's a different world. It's a different culture. I think less kids play baseball now than they did 20, 30 years ago when they're growing up. They're more towards the football, more towards the basketball. Maybe now soccer's even coming up in America. So I don't think it's specific.
Even this.
I think it's all cultures across the United
States. The team here. 97, Charles Johnson.
You got Jazz Chisholm. He's Bohemian.
No, but in 97, you had Charles Johnson.
Yeah, great catcher.
Okay. You had Bobby Bo. Oh, Bobby Bo is Hispanic, but he's Afro-Latino. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Juan Pierre.
That's 03. 03 had Derek Lee, Juan Pierre, Dontrell Willis.
Yeah. Can't forget about Dontrell Willis. Yeah, I think it's great for the game. The more diversity, it brings so much more cool stuff to the game. I love it, and I love that maybe Major League Baseball has finally realized, at least making the right, put the Negro League stats in there.
I'm happy for that. That's good, man. Congratulations.
And maybe it opens things up too. You never know. You might think, maybe it does.
Man, Fred, you know what? I might be the one of the few, but I got to give you credit. You've done bad things, but the things that you've done very well, you've done them very well, and this is one of them. And the expansion of the playoffs, the pitch clock, you've done some good things in baseball, as commissioner of baseball.
Somewhere Buck O'Neil is smiling down on us right now. Very happy. Gotta love Buck O'Neil.
Gotta love Buck O'Neil.